Hello, my name is Dan Casper. I am the lead instructor in energy management at the Delaware Tech Stanton campus, and I'm here with Dr. Jen Clemens, the department chair of the Terry campus at Delaware Technical Community College in Dover, and we're here to talk to you about our energy management programs at Delaware Tech. And you may have heard this today, but it's worth mentioning again that at Delaware Tech, students are at the center of everything we do. We're totally focused on our students' success. We value all individuals. We provide an inclusive environment that fosters equity, and as I said, student success. So we really do focus on our students here at Delaware Tech. It's not just a saying. Okay, so now I'd like to show you a short video that gives you some details about our energy technologies programs here at Delaware Tech.
Energy is a vital part of our society. It's at the center of just about everything we do. Business and industry and consumers are all seeking stable, low-cost sources to power their companies and their homes. And every day, new jobs are created that reduce the use of fossil fuels while saving money and the environment.
Every single company in Delaware is starting to realize they have an energy need.
So when I learned about the energy management program, it definitely seemed like it was something I could do professionally to help save the environment.
What I wanted to pursue was to help low-income families and provide them with energy-saving education. A person like me with 38 years of experience in the field, Delaware Tech allowed me to learn new things that I wasn't even aware that I needed to learn. So with the energy management program, we train students not only for the residential applications, but also for larger commercial buildings. So for instance, our students can work in schools, they can work in hospitals, any building that consumes energy, they can work there.
Building automations are the programs that keep your air conditioning, your heating, cooling, your lighting systems, security systems, and fire systems running. Graduates of this program will go out in the field and they typically take their laptop and will troubleshoot equipment without having to crawl through mechanical rooms and so on. So they will plug in their laptop to see what the problem is.
With solar, a lot of the jobs are in sales, some installation, a lot of site design, site analysis, making sure that the situation is a suitable place for solar. This is the real mechanical room that keeps the building comfortable, and our students get real hands-on experience with all of this equipment. The students can go to a website to look at what's going on in this room and all the other rooms in the building at all times.
The classes themselves at Delaware Tech were excellent because you got that individual attention. You could stay extra. The teachers were willing to help you learn more. It wasn't about just getting a degree. It was about learning and bettering yourself.
What we get from graduates there is we really do need people that hit the ground running. They're able to step in and take active roles immediately.
Students in our energy program are required to do a work experience. This work experience really helps them get their foot in the door, and many times they continue to work full-time with the employer while they're finishing their degree. Every student I have placed in a work experience has had at least one job offered.
I absolutely love the work that I'm doing. I feel like my job really well matched what I had learned in school.
There isn't a day that goes by I don't use the things that I've learned at Delaware Tech to help me in the business. So our students are very successful when they leave here and they enter the career field. The skills that they pick up here come together to form a very competent graduate, and then they of course become very competent employees.
When I see the energy savings, I feel like I'm doing something that matters.
If somebody was asking me what to do, what field to go in, I would tell them to go to the energy management field because it's always going to be required.
Make a difference. Become part of the solution. Prepare for an in-demand, well-paying career by enrolling in one of Delaware Tech's energy programs. An exciting and meaningful career in this new economy awaits you.
Okay, so now hopefully you have a decent idea of what energy technologies entails and some of the benefits of these programs, some of the success stories. But now I want to get into a few more reasons why energy technologies may be a good fit for you. So as you heard in the video, we really at this point offer 3 energy technologies degrees: energy management, renewable energy, solar, and building automation systems. We'll get into a little more detail about that in a minute. But all of these, what they have in common is that they they allow you to work in this field that provides us cutting-edge, sustainable energy solutions while saving money, reducing environmental, social, health, and economic impacts on energy use. So one of the really nice things about these programs is you get some employable skills, so you get to work in a field. But not only do you get to work in a field that makes you some money, but it's also a field that allows you to reduce all of these impacts of our energy use on society, on the environment, and on the economy. We have to make a transition to sustainable energy. And by enrolling in one of our degree programs, you can be prepared for these sustainable energy program, or excuse me, these sustainable energy jobs of today, but also the sustainable energy jobs of tomorrow. The energy field is constantly changing, and we do everything we can to prepare you for that changing field. And yeah, you get to do some really cool stuff while you're here too, and I'll go over a few of the cool things that you get to do while you're in one of our programs. So just to give you an idea, of some of the broader, like the bigger picture issues that we're trying to solve here. We get about 90% of our energy in the US from non-renewable sources. Pretty close to that in the world as well. And what's widely recognized as the most important sustainability problem that we're facing today is climate change. About 75% of our greenhouse gas emissions come from energy use. There's other really important factors to consider. There was some recent research, for example, that found about 1 in 5 deaths globally were due to particulate pollution from fossil fuels. So there's really big picture problems that we're trying to solve while we're training everyone to get jobs in this new economy. You know, the best science is showing us now that we need to be carbon neutral by about 2050. And what that means in the meantime, you can see in this chart here, where we're headed is this dotted line, and like where we need to go is this dark blue line that's headed down. So by 2030, give or take, they're saying that we need to cut our emissions in half. And so, I mean, this transition, it's to clean energy, it's going to happen. It has to happen. And by enrolling in one of our programs, you can help be part of that transition, because in that, you know, in that dark blue line that's headed downward, it may be a little bit intimidating, but what's really great about it is that it does mean jobs, and more jobs. And there's a lot of jobs that are going to have to happen or be created and enhanced in order to reach our renewable energy future. And by enrolling in one of our programs, you can be part of that. We do everything we can to offer as many options as possible to our graduates. So this is just a small sampling of some of the employers that our graduates have worked for. One of the really nice things about the energy technologies degrees is that you're not locked into one position. You can work in the nonprofit sector, the public sector, the private sector. You can do analytics. You can go out in the field and do audits. You can work in the office. You can do engineering. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do with this. So you know, I think that's one of the big benefits of these degrees, is that you do have options when you're done. And it's also very common after students get hired to move over to other industries, to move up in their own industry. So there's generally a lot of options after you graduate. But again, you know, in terms of options, we have agreements with Wilmington University, so you can start as a junior in a couple of their programs. Some of our graduates have gone on to study and get degrees at Penn State, like in policy, and then they're, you know, Pennsylvania College of Technology, and they're building automation systems program. So you do have the option to move on to a 4-year degree program. Many of our students do. We offer training to achieve a lot of certifications. So for our energy management program, we train you to pass the Certified Energy Manager exam, which is the top energy management certification in the country. Our residential energy programs, we use BPI standards. The solar programs adhere to the NABCEP technical sales rep. So we like to offer our students as many options as possible. So we like to give you this hands-on experience. We like to get you on your way to certifications. options to go to 4-year degrees, options to work in any number of fields when you graduate. And we do focus, as you may have guessed, we spend a lot of time in and around buildings. I mean, all these degree programs focus on analyzing some aspect of energy use in buildings. So we're constantly going out in buildings, whether you're doing some data logging or setting up equipment or monitoring things in buildings. But even in some of our classes, like our general sustainability class, as I mentioned, sustainability is at the core of these programs. And the picture on the bottom left here is taking our sustainability students to the recycling center to learn how they do recycling. We take them out, I've taken them to community gardens before and other interesting applied sustainability projects. So we do everything we can to get our students outside of the classroom. You may or may not be aware that Delaware Tech has a very robust study abroad program. We've been doing it for over 10 years now. Now, it's not a requirement, but as it turns out, most of our graduates, a majority of them do end up engaging in one or more of our study abroad programs. So we offer a number of these. They're all short-term, so a week to 2 weeks long. We've developed one specifically for energy students in Switzerland, where you see a bunch of renewable energy infrastructure and some energy efficiency. We developed a sustainability program in Italy, and yes, and you get it's content heavy, but you also get a lot of time to explore and enjoy the culture, enjoy the sites, and do some sightseeing and so forth. So we do strongly encourage our students to take advantage of this opportunity. We offer a lot of funding and scholarships in-house at Delaware Tech. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some sense of why the energy technologies degrees are important, some of the benefits of them. But now we want to dig into a little more some specifics of the individual programs. So first, I'm going to go over energy management. So energy management, every building uses energy, right? So you need to heat it, you need to cool it, you need lighting, refrigeration, ventilation, and so forth. So as they said in the video, our energy management students, they can walk into any building, from the small residential building to a large commercial building, analyze how that building is using energy, make very specific recommendations on how they can reduce the energy use, and then do all the calculations to figure out the cost, the emissions reductions, and so forth. So you're able to analyze just about any building, which one of the really great things about that, it's actually fun. So every building's a mystery. You walk into a building, you never know what you're going to find. And so I think one of the really fun and exciting parts of this program is that you get to solve the mystery of how that building works and how you can solve the puzzle of how to reduce their energy use and cost by analyzing it. But also, we teach you other skills that are applicable in many fields, like data analytics are a really big part of what we do. You learn how to crunch a lot of numbers and create visualizations. As I said, sustainability is at the core of our program, so you have a very robust sustainability education. And you also have a class that's dedicated just to renewable energy, so you learn about renewable energy sources. Okay, so I just want to, lastly, with energy management, I want to show you a few things. As I said in the video, we get to see what's going on in the buildings at all times. So this is an actual real-time image of one of our buildings on campus. So this is actually a view of one of the wings of the campus, and we can click, so we can see the temperatures in different rooms. We can click on this in each individual room and see the temperature over time. Again, this is real-time data that I'm looking at here. We can look at the different types of units, like here's the rooftop unit that's providing ventilation and heating and cooling. We can look at, this is a geothermal heat pump schematic, and again, this is all real-time data, and we have access to this type of information all the time, and we like as much as possible to bring this real-time data into classes. So one of the really nice benefits of this program, as I said, is we do a lot of hands-on learning. We do a lot of real-world education and experiential learning. And you get to really see how buildings are working and see how people do things in the field. And now Dr. Clemens is going to take over and talk to you about solar and the building automation systems programs.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jennifer Clemens. I am the department chair at the Terry campus of Delaware Tech, for our Energy Technologies program. And like Dan said, we have 3 different programs at the Terry campus, and I'm going to talk to you about the Renewable Energy Solar program. So one of the biggest misconceptions people have about solar is that all the jobs require being on the roof. And that's actually only a small fraction of the jobs are on the roof. But as you can see, we're working on a mock roof over here. But right here, our students are troubleshooting a system. So they're using a device called the IV curve tracer to analyze to see if there's something wrong with that solar panel. So this might be a troubleshooting device if a customer found that their solar wasn't getting as much production as they would expect. They might send a technician out to go out and check to make sure there wasn't something wrong if there was a bad cell or something like that. But our solar program doesn't train people to be solar installers. It really trains people to be solar site assessors. We are aligned to NABCEP, that's the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners. They're the certifying body for the solar industry. And our program's aligned to their technical sales exam. So what technical sales really is really the person that does the site assessment and the analysis of someone's utility bills. They might do some preliminary design, those kinds of things. So some of the things you might be doing in our program include designing solar systems. We spend a lot of time preparing technical and financial proposals, talking to customers. You can have the best design possible, but if you can't sell it, if you can't get someone to agree to buy it, you're not gonna make much money. Really, why we do this? We want to convince customers to save money and reduce emissions. So a lot of the skills we need to do these things include data analytics, sustainability, and energy policy is really big. Even in a small state like Delaware, depending on who your utility provider is, there's a lot of different grants you may be eligible for. So that's one of the things our graduates are prepared to do, is helping customers navigate that whole rebate process. So what we can see over here is really the growth in the solar industry and the expectation of what's going on there. So I've been teaching renewables for 12 years, and the price of solar has gone down about 70% since I started teaching this. So from where it was only accessible to the very wealthy when I started teaching this, to now it's become much more affordable that the average customer can get that. So I want to show you a couple things here. I'm going to show you a couple things here. So first thing I want to show is this is the solar career map. And what this really shows is the 4 different tracks that you're going to see in the solar industry. And a lot of people think about solar as being this installation. And this is just one of these tracks. The others include project development, system design, and manufacturing. Now, what our program trains people to do is really this entry-level solar site assessor. And again, this is the person that would talk to a customer before, boots on the roof, before we're doing any install. You would talk to a customer, take a look at their roof orientation, take a look at their utility bills, and give them some suggestions before they ever get someone boots on the roof to do that install. What's really neat about this map is not only does it show you all the different types of jobs, but it also shows the growth potential. So a lot of our students, this is the job that we're really preparing them for, is that solar site assessor. But after they've done that a couple years, you want to move up the career ladder. So here you can see there's a couple different avenues for you. So you can go to be a PV installer if you want, but also a solar sales representative. Or we can move over to design. So you can see you can really move up the career ladder, and you can change paths with that. So some of the things our students might be doing is we're analyzing a property to see if it's a good fit for solar. So this is a property that's on campus, on the Dover campus, and you can see this is a property here. Now what we've done here is we modeled a solar system, but we've also modeled these trees because shading is really a big issue with solar. So taking a look at what shading may occur there so we can model these trees on there. And here's another design that actually a graduate of our program did for part of his job. So you can see a lot goes in before we ever see the guy on your roof. A lot of this design has to be done at the computer behind closed doors before you see anything. So this is a really huge system. And if we move over to the single line diagram, you can see the electrical components here, sizing all these pieces. We need to know what kind of wires, what kind of disconnects, what kind of inverters, those kinds of things. So these are all calculations that our students do in our program. So let's go back to the presentation. So our newest program is Building Automation System, and as you saw in the video, the Building Automation System is really those control systems that run our daily life, and they may be our HVAC or our thermostats. In commercial buildings, it might be your fire detection, alarm systems, security, lighting systems, all of those great things. And you might see this a little bit more in your daily life with, hey, I can turn my thermostat on and off with my phone. Those kinds of devices are a building automation system. So here we can see we're connected to one of the HVAC systems in our program. But I want to pull up what our labs look like. So this is one of our BAS labs on the Dover campus. So you can see we have a lot of hands-on equipment here. So these are some air handlers here that they have all these control systems in there. And we can look up, you can see the building is very industrial looking. It's very, we can see all of the equipment that runs the building because we're really learning how buildings use energy and consume energy. So here's one of our control systems that our students would, this is a control system here, they would program it and they would connect it to a computer to make sure it's running the way it should. Here's the back of the lab as well. Again, we can see a lot of equipment in here. You see the students get a lot of hands-on opportunity in this lab. So I want to give you a little information about the salaries for graduates of our program. So for graduates, the average salary for a certified energy manager in 2015 was $76,000. So this is a salary for a CEM. Our graduates can sit for the CEM exam, the Certified Energy Manager exam, at the end of their program. They are qualified. However, if they pass the exam at the end of our program, they're only an energy manager in training, because to be a certified energy manager, you need at least 6 years of experience. So this $76,000, this isn't a starting salary. This is more of like a midpoint salary. However, passing that CEM exam is a really good opportunity for growth in the industry. Here's the average salary for NABCEP certifications. Now this is for all NABCEP certifications, including the technical sales, the PV installer, those kinds of things. Our students sit for the PV associate at the end of their third semester in the solar program. Just like the CEM exam, for the technical sales exam, you need a few years experience, but you would be prepared to take that exam after 2 years in the field. Now those are a little bit older dates, so I pulled some salary information a couple months ago, and you can see the average salary for solar sales representative and assessors in the U.S. is about, the low end is 41, the midpoint is 57, but in Delaware it's much higher than the average in the U.S. Very good family sustaining wages in these fields. And here you can see the same information for energy auditors and energy engineers. And you can see there's the median salary here is $60,000 and almost $100,000 for energy engineers. This is not an entry level. These are not the entry level salaries. So the entry level would probably be somewhere here on the low 10%. But as you can see, as you move up and get more experience, the job growth is really there. So just to wrap up, we want to talk about whether or not this is a good fit for you. So would the Energy Technologies program be a good fit for you? Are you interested in making money and helping others save money and address sustainability? This is a really big issue out in the industry, is really thinking about sustainability holistically and in your home, in your businesses and so on. So really, do you want to help others save money and save the environment as well? Are you interested in solving real world problems? So you did get a chance to take a look at some of our labs, and you can see you really get an opportunity to get your hands into it. We're in real buildings, we're in using real equipment, so this is a real world problems. Are you interested in sustainable energy sources? We're seeing a big shift in shifting from a fossil fuel powered country, and we're seeing a growth in these sustainable energy sources. So this is something that's going to be jobs for the future, really. Do you have an analytical mind? We're doing a lot of math. We're constantly working analytically. You're not going to see the same thing every day. You're not going to just go through a checklist and be able to do the same thing every day. It's really a lot of fun, but it requires you to really think about things analytically every single day. Do you want to learn about sustainability and the impacts of human behavior on the environment and society? All of our students take a sustainability class, but sustainability is at the heart of just about everything we do. And are you interested in not just the how, but the why? One of our employers said at our advisory board recently that the students that are really successful are the ones that ask the why questions. Why is this building designed this way? Why do we do things this way? Really thinking about that why, not just the how. And really, do you want to be a part of the solution? And do you want to be prepared for the jobs of today and the jobs of tomorrow? So in conclusion, I just encourage you all, if you're interested in any of these things, you can reach out to any of us. Here's my contact information. Again, I'm at the Terry campus in Dover. Dr. Gerdo, she's the instructional director at the Stanton campus. And you also heard from Dan, who is the instructor at the Stanton campus in Newark. But if you're interested in any more information, I would encourage you to go to this website, go.dtcc.edu/energy. Thank you.